Shep, we're running a banner right there. There's a police officer unresponsive. You had mentioned that he was unconscious later, but unresponsive, it tends to mean something completely different. Any word on that?
No, and we've reached out and continue to reach out. I know that they're probably very busy offering treatment. It did say unconscious on the screen, but that is not what the authorities said. The authorities said he was unresponsive, others with broken bones. This is a horrible day for police, and you would guess that the one thing you have to make sure from covering this sort of things forever, when you send out police, that you have to send out enough police to where you're sure they'll be able to own the day.
Right.
And when these police went out, there were not enough of them to own the day, or they had the wrong orders, or they had the wrong tactics or something, because the police were moving forward, some with shields and some without. The children, as they've been described to us, these teenagers, kids who just gotten out of school who are, purging, are throwing brickbats at them, and they backed up the police for a long time. Then the police did some pepper spraying and some tear gassing, we believe. The kids, we watched it happen. They went back rearmed with more brickbats and more bottles and came at the police and backed them down again. So whatever the police did, it was not enough in the early going. And, this is these people's fault. But the police weren't ready, and let's just hope that all of them survive this.
Hey, Shep, Julie asked about the governor, but we also, at least I haven't heard anything from any civil rights leaders. Have you?
I heard Alveda King on a little while ago on our air telling her to get people home, that this is not a way to solve any problems. But it seems like in the middle of all of this, to start picking on people for civil rights and what they're saying and what they're not saying, we could spend our time watching this and reporting on it, as we have street after street.
I don't know. I think it might be a nice idea, nice timing for one of the higher profile civil rights leaders who tend to come in after the fact and say, look how bad things were with the police officers. But if they came in now during the thing saying, hey, let's call for peace, let's have some calm here.
That's a wonderful idea. I'm confident they're all watching and will, on your instruction, do exactly that. What we really need now is for it not to get dark before police get control. And if what they have is 42 state police and then 40 more to add to the city of Baltimore's police department, that's not what's going to happen. So there's been no word on the National Guard. There's been no word on how they plan to retake these streets. But we've watched the numbers here, and if police officers were to send people into this crowd, people would get hurt. So what is your alternative at this moment? I'm confident the police are trying to figure this out. But nobody involved, not the parents of these people, not the police officers and their families, nobody wants this to get to nightfall. Baltimore can't take that.
You mentioned parents. Where are the parents?
Well, I've not been on the phone with them. But if we want to sit here and indict the civil rights community and indict the parents for what we're watching right now, instead of, for now, just covering what happens and then later talk about whose fault it is, because we don't know whose fault it is.
Can I just jump in, Shep? No one's indicting anyone. We're watching the pictures. We're asking legitimate questions. A lot of our viewers are probably asking the same questions.
Bowling. The question was, where are the parents? Surely you don't expect me to know that.
No, my question was,
I agree, Shep. It was a hypothetical.
Civil rights leaders. Where's Al Sharpton? Where's Jesse Jackson?
You know what? I also don't know where they are. We've got a major American city that has decades of turmoil within this neighborhood. Decades. You heard the stories from Doug McKelway a little while ago of people being arrested for nothing, of a violent crackdown for years and years, of them feeling powerless and hopeless, and nobody listening to what they were saying. 1/4 of the youth locked up. Clearly there is a big problem. Then all of a sudden, an African-American man is taken into a vehicle and he comes out of it and dies. And you get nothing from authorities except a suspension. And then those who would do harm take an opportunity to do harm, and here we are. But it's what has happened between all of that and today that has led to this. There is no escaping that reality. Certainly people will need to come forward now and ask for calm. But no one on these streets would be able to listen to that call, for they're on these streets. And what they have to do now is get law enforcement to come in and fix this. I'm confident that when they can, they will. This sign says checks cash. They've gone into that. This sign I can't really read. It appears to be pay bills, debit cards. That store has been marked. Many of these stores we've been watching closely have guards that come down over them. These do not. And one after another, businesses are going down, and in no place do you see law enforcement. Law enforcement apparently at this moment does not have the capability to restore order. Otherwise, law enforcement would do that because it is law enforcement. And at this point, no laws are being enforced, and there's a purge underway.
Yeah, plenty broken.